Hey guys, so I bought this Model 3 Performance about a week and a half ago. This is my first all-electric car. This is my first Tesla. Previous to this, I owned a Prius Prime in 2021, I believe. Previous to that, I've owned a few sports cars, Mark IV Supra, a couple Skylines. But this gives a new interpretation of speed. The torque on this is insane. So I know you guys have probably seen a million of these kind of videos on YouTube, but I'll kind of just talk to you about the modifications I've done in the last week and a half of ownership. Put some, call them mud guards or mud flaps on the back. I believe I paid like $40 for these on Amazon. Fairly easy to hook up. Took 3 or 4 clips, plastic clips, unclip them, put the new clips in. Debadged the entire car, but left the performance badge on the back, so there's no Tesla logo anymore. Same thing with the front of the vehicle. You can see I took the badge off, so that's gone if you want to call it a mod. Let's see the inside of the car. So you probably can't tell from this, but there's a mattified screen protector on this. It's matte, meaning it brings the shine down. Also, touching it, there's not as many fingerprints, keeps it cleaner. There's also one on the back. Can't really see it, but there's another screen protector on the back. Let's see, modifications on the inside. I haven't done any of those, but we'll kind of talk more about the review. So I will say something I'm still getting used to is the orientation of the turn signal buttons because of lack of turn signals. My brain kind of tells me these should be reversed. Left should be up here. Regardless, these buttons are pretty cool. I'm getting used to it still, even after a week. One thing I will mention is this auto feature to go forward and back works great as long as I have my seatbelt in. So you can see here I push on the brake and it activated it. It thinks I want to pull into my garage. That's not what I want. I would say it works about 90% of the time, which is fantastic, but you still got to kind of pay attention to it. A few other things to mention. The controls on this touchscreen are absolutely phenomenal. It came from a 2021 Prius. Worst touchscreen I've ever used. It was resistive, meaning you physically had to push the screen in for it to register. There was no gently sliding your finger around. It was garbage. Love Toyotas, but they have the worst infotainment screens I've ever seen in any car. All the way back to like 2010, I had a better touchscreen, an aftermarket touchscreen. It's just crazy. Cooled seats are absolutely incredible. I will say this, coming to a Tesla, I basically haven't used the brake one single time outside of, pressing it to drive, which, it asked me to do, or rather, when you're in hold mode or brake mode, or in park rather, it'll ask you to register which direction, to get off. You have to hit the brake, whatever. Infotainment screen's incredible. Like I said, the controls are absolutely insane. All the predetermined options are incredible. You basically just set it up like your iPhone the first time. You don't really have to go in here ever again. Few other things to note is I was a little bit skeptical or worried about Apple CarPlay not having it. Again, I don't know why I was freaking out so much, because you can still get messages displayed on your screen. The maps is, I'm going to be honest, it's better than Apple CarPlay Maps or Google Maps. One of the only things I haven't noticed is it doesn't let you know if there's a speed trap up ahead, but first world problems, I guess, right? Storage in this car is absolutely monumental. It really makes my Prius seem like a clown car. Now, if you check the website and compare cubic space storage from the Model 3, the Highland version, to my previous car, which is the Prius, even though the inside of this vehicle looks smaller, there's still more cargo room. There's more available space. So you can see I'm hoarding some K-cups. This is an aftermarket little slider, just to, you know, split up the console a little bit more. This armrest has a huge amount of space in it. I just keep some knickknacks. It's just detailing stuff I keep in here, rag and some tissues and, you know, some gum in a bag. Let's see what else. Glove compartment's interesting. There's no button to unlock it, so I have it mapped by holding this scroll wheel. It'll pop open. So pretty typical glove box. What's not so typical is there's a USB thumb drive in there for your dash cam storage, which is pretty cool. The LED strip that goes around the car is unbelievable. It's beautiful and it's really eye-catching. I did get ceramic tint. The whole car is wrapped in tint, ceramic, and I think what ended up happening was when the tint people pushed the you know, the squeegees, some water got behind the dash, and when I was driving it home, I noticed part of the strip was off. This was last week, just for a couple hours, but since then I haven't had any issues. No issues with the entire car. In fact, I'm looking for issues to, you know, take my car into Tesla in hopes I can get a Model 3 or a Model Y loaner just for a day or so, just for fun, to test one out. The seats, I will say the bolstering is incredible. I came from 2 Skylines previous and a Supra. I owned bride seats for one of my vehicles. I think it was the R33. Really aggressive bolstering. Way more comfortable than a racing seat. Great thigh support down here. Cool little badge. Headrest fits perfectly for my head. I will say, driving this thing back about 3.5 hours from delivery back home, not the best for me. I ended up hurting pretty bad, but I'm also 6'1", 155 pounds, and I typically like to keep my seat really upright, just in case of an accident or something. So that's probably more on me, but the seats are great. Really cool other feature, you know, some other features. Frameless design on this. Up here is where you'd see, in case the screen failed, you could still shift from park and stuff. Up here they would appear. I think it's capacitive buttons. Some other quirks of the car, if you guys remember these folio cases like iPads, they would fold down and, you know, to protect the screen. So this is pretty neat. Soft touch lights as well. I mean, whatever, who cares? That's not why people are buying this stuff, but it all adds up to make a really seamless, welcoming, very cool experience when getting in this car for the first time. You guys all know this is a first world problem, but wireless chargers in cars are garbage. I've never used one that's been good. This is lined in a felt material, Alcantara, and then the charging bays are absolutely massive. But I have an iPhone 13 mini, the smallest iPhone basically ever made. Fits in here great. I've seen reviews, iPhone 16 Pro Max Ultra or whatever it's called fits in here. My phone charges twice as fast as my Prius. It doesn't slide around, doesn't get hot. Even when I'm pegging the accelerator all the way down, my phone doesn't move. So pretty incredible. I also like how minimal everything just seals back up. Real quick, show the back seat. Pretty typical back seat, but it has heated functions. LED light strip back there. This armrest folds down, gives pass through, and I think a couple more additional cup holders. And then it's almost a panoramic roof in the back. It's pretty cool. Sat back here personally myself once, but not while someone else is driving. Fun little features if you guys want to see. If you guys see me unbuckle my seatbelt, you'll actually see my chair and everything move out of the way. So this is pretty cool, and it kind of presents itself in a way for you to be able to get out, especially for taller folks like myself. So, you know, opening the door with electronic switches right here, opposed to this pull handle, which is, I believe it's a mechanical pull for emergencies. But you guys can kind of see how the car presents itself once I buckle back in. Everything should, yep, the seat shifts back up, the steering wheel resituates. It's pretty incredible. And then, you know, I don't want to go back into my garage, but rather back. So you'd simply just swipe down and then there we go. It's pretty awesome. The cool stuff about the car, really, this is just really quality of life improvements. I have it set so when I pull into my residence, my mirrors will automatically fold in. That's to help my wife be able to get in and out of her vehicle a little bit easier. Like I mentioned, the seats are absolutely wonderful. The steering wheel feels incredible. Some quality of life things, as I mentioned, you have what's called Sentry mode, and I can't present it up here, but think of it just like all these cameras basically recording your car at any point, utilizing the app. You can look at and check on your car at any point. It's basically just a big dash cam for your car, but you have like 6 cameras. Speaking of your phone app, it is absolutely incredible. No more jostling of keys or, oh shoot, I forgot my key. As long as you have your wallet with the key card in it, or at minimum your phone, which most people do, walking up and unlocking your car is as simple as literally walking up to the car and just getting in. No starting it up, nothing. It took some time to get used to doing that, and especially in the first test drive, I thought I had to shut the car off. So first world problems, right? Pretty awesome, the app is. We talk about this all day, but really to kind of summarize some stuff, I'm going to talk about prices of supercharging, or rather electric prices in general. So you guys can see some of my charges here, or rather my trips. And so I don't have very many miles on this car. It's about 500. But give you guys a perspective on pricing here. Let me get out of the car and I'll kind of show you my garage where I charge my car. So you guys can see here, this is a pretty standard level 2 home charger. It's hooked up to 240. I did all this myself, so it wasn't too expensive. And then I have a J117 adapter, I believe. I forget what it's called, but it's basically an adapter to go into the Tesla. So that came included with the car. So why am I telling you all this? Basically charging. How much does it cost to charge? So I live in the Midwest, specifically Nebraska, and charging here, it's about 5 to 6 cents per kilowatt hour. So my Prius, I was spending about $10 a month to charge my vehicle. I have yet to determine how much this might cost per month, but I'm guessing it might be like 30 bucks max, maybe even less. Regardless, gas equivalent pricing on, versus charging, I might be spending 100, 150 on gas a month. With the Prius, I was spending $5 to $10 to charge it a month and no gas. This, I'm probably going to be spending maybe 20, 25 bucks a month to charge it, which is nothing. My typical round trip commute in my car is about 5 miles. So I'm not really going to be utilizing the battery a whole lot. Speaking of which, I'll kind of show you guys my charge rate at which I stopped charging, because I really don't need to charge this car a whole lot. So I have it set to 69%. Nice, right? But I was doing 80% for the first week, and I was coming home and I was at like 75%. So might as well just not charge it as much as I need to. But yeah, it's kind of a small 15-minute review, giving you guys a different perspective on the car. I'm not going to be, showcasing it driving or anything anytime soon. But really, this is a first for me. Not first for me in terms of like fast cars, but we'll see how it compares to my Prius, which I believe was like my 35th car or something like that. Loved it. My favorite car overall, even over Supers and Skylines. But this is a great all-encompassment, all-in-one vehicle for myself, and hopefully I keep it for over half a decade or more. But yeah, truly incredible piece of work. Hopefully I'll make more videos on this thing. But yeah,